Okay. Okay. Good morning, everybody. My name is Divine, and with us here today, especially is Miss Busai Oluwa Busayomi Adibayo. Busayo is an experienced designer with a keen eye for detail, accuracy, and consistency. He has an established track record of building brands and working with cross functional, effective, cohesive, and high performing teams that deliver and outperform ambitious business objectives and brand performance targets across diverse industry sectors. Busaya has demonstrated expertise in strategic planning, brand positioning, brand management, brand strategy, brand design, brand development, project management, product marketing, wow, content creation, content marketing, employee engagement, market research, user experience, social media marketing, corporate communications, integrated marketing, event management, visual design, brand identity design, graphic design, merchandising, packaging design, stakeholder management, and event hosting. Suffice to say that Busayo is a jack of all trade and a master of all. He consistently demonstrates the ability to thrive in the high paced work environment and deliver exceptional results when crossing into new industry terrains. His multi-sectoral brand experience cuts across aviation, education, finance, transport, power, payment, social impact, real estate, print industry, and most recently within the contemporary technology space in Africa. presently accountable for Presently accountable for brand management, corporate communications, brand design and development, brand positioning, marketing communications, integrated marketing, content and social media marketing, working with a diverse team of content writers, product designers, audio visual creators, and communication associates to support key business objectives across the Venture Garden Group business portfolios. This is Busayo. Please, can we give a warm round of applause to Mr. Busayo? You can use your emojis to give him a round of applause. Welcome, Mr. Busayo.
All right, thank you. I suppose I was lost to reading about, but all right. So good morning, everybody. Please let me know if you can hear me clearly. Think do
Yeah, you
people have the
just
chance to
I'm
unmute?
just trying to close my mouth from the profile.
Okay, don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, okay. All right, what's up, guys? How we doing? So I'm more of an interactive person. I'm a very lively guy, so I actually love if I can hear from some couple of guys too before we dive into the main topic for today.
Let's start with this. Those that were on yesterday's space, like I said, Busayo runs the space. So just tell him your experience. How did you? How does it feel?
Oh,
Unmute
interesting.
him. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, let's go. So anybody?
Okay. Yeah. Good morning, Busayo. It's
Ah, yes.
really yeah, it's nice to have you in this space with us. Like I feel like I'm going to learn a lot today, and I just can't imagine the kind of knowledge I'll get after today's class or the wealth
Okay.
of experience I'll get. As I was yesterday's space, and it was lovely. Like you did such a wonderful job. I learned a lot that, but I was thinking of it all through the night. Like, is this real? Are people this good? So yes, I am looking forward to learning from you, and basically that's all.
Okay. All right. Cool. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Esther. Thank you. Any other person?
Okay, hello, Mr. Busayo. I
Busayo
joined
is
the
fine. You can call me Busayo.
okay,
Don't.
okay, 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 okay.
Yeah.
I've been told of a good girl. Always put me back. Okay, Busayo.
All right.
I joined the space quite late because I had a project to submit, so I was working on it. I couldn't join the space because I needed all my gadgets for that project. So I joined a bit late, but I don't think you were the one that said that. But um, I heard someone talk about the pie and the pie this thing talking about performance, image, and exposure, and it really sank yesterday, and like the speaker said, it's not about hearing, but putting what you're hearing into practice.
Yeah.
So and one thing stuck to me. Every food is good. Now I'm paraphrasing. I may not get the exact statement. Every food is good, but you shouldn't eat every food. You shouldn't
Yeah.
jump on every dig Tom and Harry on social media. You're on every space. You're on every training. You're every selectively eat food so you don't get obese. Thank you.
Mm. All right. Awesome. 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 All right. Thank you. Thank you for that. I don't know why your name is bringing Adebayo Chike, but it's fine. It's fine. So, what's the name?
My name is Divine. My name is Divine, but I like to be called Dicey.
Dice.
Yeah, Dicey. It's actually my initials. Divine.
Okay,
The D for
D for Dice.
divine.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah. D for divine. I for Ifoma. C for Chinyo. E for is in the page. And the Y just to spice it up.
It's plenty in the air. All right. All right. Thank you, guys. So, apologies. I might just be kind of like over the place in my session today, but I'll just try and make sure that I put more emphasis on what's like the
Please
core.
agree that we should be punctual.
Okay, I didn't mean you say something. Okay.
No, I
All
think
right.
someone was on mute.
Oh, okay, okay. All right. So, like I said, I might just be all over the place in my session today because I'm just trying to like put a couple of things together. It's really been a very long week for me. So I think the major core of discussion today is brands and colors, right? Most like the relationship between brands and colors, right? If I'm correct, please can just use the chat box, please. I will actually love if you can engage. Very, I would have loved to turn on my video, but I'm looking very, very, very rough. So it's not a good sell for me. Okay. All right. So where do I start from? So what is our expectation? Chike, where do you want me to start from?
Okay, I think we can start from colors. Then,
Okay.
okay, no, let's start from brands. Then we'll talk about colors and types of color. What do they mean? How do
Okay.
they relate to the brand? Stuff like that. And if you can chip in a little bit of typography. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Color, brand colors, typography. If we have time, we'll do typography. Okay. Okay. All right. So brands. Are we all designers here? If you're a designer, just comment. I believe you're all designers here. Or someone said typography. Okay. Are we all designers? So I know how to make this session faster. Okay, yes, you're all boarding. Okay, boarding designers. Okay, okay. Deolu, you have your hands up. You can unmute and speak now. Let's don't make it so official. Esther, you can unmute. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm a designer too.
Okay, Divine is a designer. Okay, awesome. All right, cool. Okay, all right, so let's go. I may not be sharing my slide, but please just pay attention to what I'm gonna say. So brand. I think this is one of like the conversation that I think someone is unmuted. Okay, brand is one of like the most complicated terms that people use out there because a lot of people want to have a brand, but they do not understand the essence of what a brand is. I think part of the conversation yesterday for those that were in it was Tola was trying to like say there's nothing like a brand designer, but at some point I wanted to come in to just kind of like give a different perspective to that, but he tried to like break it down further. So what's the brand in its essence, right? And everybody here, we have a brand, and brands sometimes can be measurable in terms of um physical attributes, and sometimes the brand is actually, most times brands are actually usually in the mind of the audience, in the mind of the user. So brand in summary, right, based off my own experience, my years of experience in this space, is that brand is just a perception of something. So the perception you have of a Chike is Chike's brand, right? So I took a personal branding session for some couple of students a few days ago, and I was trying to like make them understand that when you want to create a brand, you number one, you have to be like very intentional about it. So a Coca-Cola brand. So you hear people sometimes say, I want to build a brand, and the next thing they request for is a logo. Or the next thing they request for, most times usually a logo and a couple of flyers, right? From a designer point of view. And if you want to like go in depth into brands, right? A lot of things actually come in play in building a brand. Number one is you understanding your purpose, you understanding your market, your vision, your value statement. How do you want to communicate, right? How do you want to, what's your tone of voice? Brands and colors, yeah, typography, they all like fit in. So what type of colors do I want to use to represent my brand? What is the meaning behind every color? Because people just tend to like choose colors out of out of out of how do I put it, out of without thinking of the emotional parts of choosing a color. So for every color, there's definitely a meaning to it, and that meaning also affects the way you put out your brand. It could affect positively, it could affect negatively. So sometimes you see people say, I want to be, I'm a graphic designer, sorry, I'm a business owner, I want to have a brand. Let me use the word people use now. I want to have a brand, I want to build a business, can you design a logo for me? And they're asking you, they're asking the client or the customer, what colors do you want us to use in building this identity, right? And they're saying, I like purple. Purple is my favorite color. So now they're saying purple is their favorite color, and the niche or the spectrum in which the business is playing, purple doesn't fit in, right? What you're trying to like communicate to your audience, purple does not resonate with it, red does not resonate with it. I see some headstrong client, they'll be like, no, 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 you must use red, you must use purple. At the end of the day, you are not going to you are not going to be communicating with your audience, because what you are selling is different from how you are representing yourself. So brand is just a perception, and building that perception, a lot of things have to come in play in building that perception. Your tone of voice, like I said initially, your purpose, your mission, your value statement, um your mode of communication. Where are you? Are you doing the right thing? Are you saying the right thing? Are you communicating the right thing? So for someone to call himself a brand designer, a brand identity designer, it means that the person already studies the brand, studies the business, studies the customer, studies the industry at which they're playing in, and design an identity or a identity for a business that perfectly fits that perfectly fits into that industry they want to play in. So when you see someone called themselves a brand designer, it's not just people like that are actually more of a thoughts person. They think in depth in trying to like create something that resonates with people. Do you get me? So if you take a look at, I was trying to like explain to a couple of guys as about branding, and you realize that Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and Biggie Cola, I believe most of us here are Nigerians or Africans who can easily resonate with that. So Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and Biggie, they are all in the same group, right? They play in the same beverage industry. But what makes Coca-Cola different from a Pepsi, and what makes Pepsi different from a Biggie, is actually the way they brand themselves. You realize that Coca-Cola spends a whole lot of adverts, a whole lot of money on adverts. Pepsi spends a whole lot of money on ambassadorship, just to make sure that, just to give that premium vibe, just to make sure they are what they are preaching it, or what they are internally. Their internal brand is what they are communicating outside. So Pepsi, on the other hand, what they try to do is they try to like bring a couple of big guys, right? People that people know as celebrities, as industry leaders, to just represent their brand, because they are big. We want to be big. We bring in the big guys, we collaborate with them to make sure we're like that. So it's just how you, sorry, please give me a minute. It's just how you communicate. So now, when you are testing, let's break this down. Let me make it more practical now. Maybe you're just start from home. You want to get something to drink now. You want to get something to drink. Between a Coca-Cola, a Pepsi, and a Biggie, which will you drink? You are very thirsty. You just go back from work. You're tired. Maybe you went to the field, you played ball, you went to the gym. You are very exhausted, and you want to get a drink, a cold drink. Which will you drink? Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or a Biggie. So you can just comment. Let me get that from there. Let's take it from there. So you can comment which will you drink, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or Biggie.
Coca-Cola.
Okay, ciao.
Coca-Cola, that's what I prefer, but if there's no Coca-Cola, I can drink anything. But preferably
Okay,
Coca-Cola
Pepsi.
and second Pepsi.
so let me ask you, why would you pick a Coca-Cola?
I prefer it. I prefer it to
Yes, I love the taste.
other brands.
Okay.
Okay, can I say something?
Yeah, yes, you can go. You can go, Deborah.
All right, I would prefer Coca-Cola because of the perception I already have about the brand, basically.
Okay.
For me, I think I would go with Pepsi
Okay.
because of the taste. Like I feel like Pepsi has a very high quality taste, like compared to every other brand, followed by Coca-Cola though. But I feel Pepsi has this unique taste. So taste it gives here.
So why are people not even saying Biggie? What's wrong with Biggie?
That
Big
one.
is of low standard. The taste is
I
not
think
here.
it's the
There.
way they position the brand. Maybe that's why people
Hmm.
don't really like to
This is
go for it.
actually low budget. Low budget.
Okay. Let me say something now. Do you know if Whiskey or Davido starts campaigning for Biggie, people will drink Biggie?
Yes, exactly.
But still, I don't really. I think I
Taste is not just
defy
the
Tell them.
Big
it's not about
because
the campaign.
yeah, it's not about the campaign. I feel like it's about the taste. Biggie does not even. We can't even compare
Yeah.
the taste of Biggie to Pepsi or Coca-Cola. So even if the best celebrity out there comes to campaign for Biggie, as long as they don't improve in their taste or in the quality of their product, sorry, I feel
Okay.
people will still not patronize them as much as they would patronize Coca-Cola and Pepsi. So yeah.
Sorry, can I come in here?
Yeah,
If
sure,
you're
sure.
talking about drinking Biggie and the brand, it's not all about taste. Coca-Cola, if you notice recently, if you drink Coca-Cola, you're not drinking the old Coca-Cola. You're taking
Thank you.
water. You're practically taking water.
Honestly,
So I
yes,
guess it's because of the celebrities they use in campaigning.
Thank
That
yes,
is
you.
what
that's the
causing this.
thing.
Please, can I?
So it's not all about the taste again. It's
Thank
it's
you.
it's, it's not all about the taste.
It's about
Sorry,
how they position
I want to say
themselves
something
outside.
God
regarding
bless
Biggie
you.
and Davido.
Can I say something
Ronaldo
too?
did something of recent in an interview where he rejected Coca-Cola and picked water. They lost a lot of value because of that
Yeah,
small
yeah,
act of Ronaldo. They had to rebrand
yeah.
by placing water beside it and looking
Mm-hmm.
for a way to actually make use of Ronaldo as the ambassador just to promote it. So the celebrity or whoever they use at times matter. I might use the product not because I like it, because of he's my favorite. I like this guy. He's the one marketing it for them. I might go for that product because of that.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes, I agree with that. Because it's perception, is the perception that is created in people's minds. I think that's why there's a kind of celebrity and there's a kind of advert Biggie will do. People's perception will change
Mm-hmm.
irrespective of their taste. So I think
Mm-hmm.
it's a mind thing. Like if you're able to get through to the people's minds with the celebrities that are used and the kind of advert too. Coca-Cola uses they are so crazy about their adverts most times. So it gets into you. So I think it's the perception they create in people's mind majorly.
Awesome.
Okay.
So okay,
Okay.
Esther, you can round it up, yeah.
Yeah, so in as much as I know perception is actually very important, and for some persons, they're actually taken because of the perception they have about that particular brand. But I feel for other persons, the quality of that particular product really matters a lot. Like she said, there's Coca-Cola presently. I know there are some that when you take them, you just don't want to take any longer. Like the taste is always very poor. But if you take the canned Coca-Cola, I don't know the one you take though, but most times if you take the canned Coca-Cola or the bottled one, the taste is still it's still quality and still unique the way it started. So I feel because for me, what I think for an average Nigerian, we in as much as we are concerned about perception and branding, we're concerned about how that thing tastes like. That's like most of my mom now want to buy. She tell yes, I buy Coca-Cola from you. I don't want all those big that is water and sugar. That's what she would tell me. So I feel the quality of that particular product goes a long way to sell your brand. In as much as you have to yes do a very good branding on that particular brand too.
All
Okay,
right.
in
Sorry,
my
sorry,
opinion,
can I say
I feel
one last thing?
Okay, good. Go on.
Okay, the question is, if you're testing Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Biggie, which would you go for? Now, the truth is that a very big majority, if a
Water.
vote should be cast, a very big majority will go with Coke. Why? There's just one reason. Coke was the first.
Mm.
And Coke has dominated
over the years. You know how someone will say, Choma, go and buy me Indomie, Tommy. Do you get? Indomie is a brand. Tommy is a brand. But we know noodles as Indomie.
Mm.
Do you get? So that's the thing. Someone say, go and buy me tin tomato, sachet one. Because what came out initially was the team. Now,
Mm.
acceptance, adoption, over the
Mm.
years, we adopted Coca-Cola.
Mm.
So even if a new brand comes in, Coca-Cola will still be the best to us. Whether the taste has reduced, whether it has not reduced, Coke is the best. It's not probably in the absence of Coke, you now begin to discover other brands that have nice taste, good quality, and all. So one thing is that Coke came initially, dominated the market. You know, they came with that quality and everything. And Coke has found a way to, the way Indomie does it. Indomie has Hungry Man, Indomie has a Belefu. They try to inculcate all these things in our life. That's also user experience. They research how do people feel about this product and all that. As someone will be like, I don't like Indomie table, it's too small. If I want to be filled, I have to buy like three. Oh, so they say, okay, so for you to be Belefu now, you have to like three. So they'll compound Indomie into the Indomie table into three and make it Belefu. So these brands are, Coca-Cola is one brand that understands the market and is pumping serious money to make sure that it stays at the top. And actually it's at the top. But right now, we have Pepsi competing with it and all that. Pepsi is nice. But the truth is, I prefer Coca-Cola. I might not prefer Coca-Cola because the taste is better, or because it's poor. It's just, there's this thing about when you are used to something, letting go is hard. Even though it's clear that Biggie is better than Coke, but Coke is just Coke. Do you understand? So that's just the thing. Majority of people will go with Coke. Why? Because of one reason. Because of adoption. We are just used to Coke.
All
Okay, I
right.
Yeah,
want to
I,
agree
I
with
All right.
what
liked it,
Divine
Divine,
said.
when you said because they are used to Coca-Cola, they've been used to Coca-Cola over the years. That's why they would go with Coke. Not because Coke is actually better, but because over the years, Coca-Cola has been able to place a print on the minds of people. I like
Mm.
that when you said they've been used to it over the years. I think
Okay,
I
I'd
concur
like
with
to
that.
add
Okay.
something to what Divine said. In the case of Coke, my addition is their influence on the market because it is out there already. Even if you don't take any of these three drinks, if you are new to taking them, but everybody knows Coke. So if you want to take, you automatically just let me get Coke because you know Coke and Pepsi. But like Biggie has like a less influence compared to Coke or Pepsi. So it is just easy for people to say let me take Coke or Pepsi rather than Biggie. Yeah.
All right. I think I kind of like the way we're making it more practical now, and it shows that we are paying attention to brands, whether we like it or not. We pay attention to branding directly or indirectly. So the question being, having a Coke, having Pepsi, and having Biggie, which would you drink? So if you look at the tagline of Coke, they say taste the feeling. So in the mindset of we the users or we the customers, Coke is trying to paint a sense, a feeling that we would get when we drink Coke. If you notice all Coca-Cola adverts, you always see them drinking a Coke with this sense of like peace and calmness when you drink a Coke. So there's no time you drink Coke, a very chilled Coke, that you will not feel it rushing through your body. But most times it's actually a mindset thing that we already have, that anytime I drink a Coke, I'm always going to get this very nice, comfortable, and peaceful feeling. But for Biggie, for Pepsi on the other end, I don't know. I really don't know. But for me personally, if you give me a Biggie, you give me a Coke, you give me a Pepsi, I would pick Coke because I already have this feeling in my end, this perception that when I drink a Coke, I tend to like be okay. I tend to like be satisfied. All the stress I'm going to try to like just go away, stylish, but it's just in the mind, right? So if someone else, like a big celebrity now, starts campaigning for Biggie, trust me, irrespective of how Biggie tastes currently, you will like Biggie. I'm not if it's your favorite celebrity, irrespective of how big it is now, you will like Biggie. So where did all this all come together now? It's branding, right? It's just branding. If I give you an empty cup and I pour a Biggie inside it, and I pour a or I pour Biggie inside the bottle of Coca-Cola and I brand it with Coca-Cola branding, and I pour Coca-Cola, I pour it inside Biggie bottle, and I brand it Biggie. At the end of the day, you're still going to pick Coca-Cola first, because in your mind you feel like Coca-Cola is a superior brand, and it's just in your mind. You've never tasted the content yet. You've not even opened the bottle to even check if this is actually big. And at the end of the day, you actually drink it and you think you are drinking Coke, but you're not drinking Coke, you're drinking Biggie. So it's just in the mind, right? Like, I don't know who was saying it, that most of all the drinks they do this, they don't even taste like what they do taste before. Look at Indomie. Indomie is not what we eat before. You eat Indomie now, you're like, you want to finish like a whole carton before you know you have eaten Indomie, right? So it's just a mindset thing. Brand is just a perception. So creating that perception in the minds of your audience now. So the conversation is now, what perception do I want my users or my customers to have of my product or have of myself? Is maybe like a business or a personal branding thing, right? So what perception do I want a Chike to have of me? What perception do I want to have Diamond to have of me? What perception do I want Deborah, Esther, Divine to have of me as a person, right? And that comes in play in different things, in different ways, right? For me as a person now, with the way Divine read my citation, I feel like, oh, this guy is a big person. At the end of the day, I'm just one small boy that is still in the trenches. You get me? But it's just a perception. She has already painted that perception in your head that this person that's coming to speak is a big guy. I don't know if you're getting, if I'm communicating. This person that is coming to speak is a big guy. And me on the end, just to try and maintain that perception, I'm trying to like pick my words clearly and not, should I say tabon, or not try to like change that perception in a way. I don't know if you're getting me, right? If you're getting me, you can just comment to show now following. So branding or brand is just a perception. It's the perception you get of a person, of a feeling, or a product, of a company, of a business, or anything, right? But going in depth into it now from a creative point of view, right? A lot of things comes in play. If you're a designer and you want to design for a brand now, you want to design for a, I think they have notion of designing for a brand. Let me say product. Let me use product this place. So you want to design for a product now. How do you create a perception for that product? Your copywriting, your colors, the type of your typography, your the experience people get from that product. All these things have to come in play when you want to create a perception for something. So if it's yourself as a person now, you want to create a personal brand for yourself, right? A lot of things comes in play. How do you dress? What kind of people do you relate to it? Right? I was telling a friend of mine a couple of days ago that there was this friend I had back then in school, and we were very close. People knew us together because we kind of like worked together. Then all of a sudden, he started posting some X-rated things on his WhatsApp. And I was like, guy, they cannot know you to know me. I don't know if you get me. So if they think that this guy is posting stuff like this, that means me as a person, I'm also doing something like that because we're kind of like friends, right? So I detached myself completely from it because I did not want that kind of perception to be had about me, right? So personal branding now, before we like go into in depth, is how do you dress? How do you show up? You want to be the best in the industry. How do you talk? How do you carry yourself? What kind of people do you talk to? What kind of platforms do people see you? What do you post on your status? People don't know that all these things actually come together to form that brand that we all try. It's not a brand, is not a destination. It's a continuous thing, it's a journey. It's you creating that perception you want in your workplace. How do you talk? How do you show up in meetings? How do you dress? If you're having a virtual meeting, how do you look? How do you do all these things, right? Those are just the little things that comes in play in building a brand, right? But for a business, for a product, from a design point of view now, we're talking about colors, right? What are the meanings behind colors? How do you choose a color that resonates with the spirit of the business? How do you choose a color that's going to also communicate what the business is trying to, or what the product is trying to offer, and also resonate with the audience, right? What type of fonts, what type of typography do I use in these cases, right? If I want to communicate to a techie, you realize this day that there are some fonts that you use, right? It has a little bit of this techie vibe around it. You just sit and you're like, this is like a modern type of font, right? So how do I choose fonts like that, right? If I want to play in a fashion space, what type of fonts do I use? How should my logo look like? How should my identity look like? Choosing pictures, images, where do I use illustrations? Where do I use 3D images? Where do I use still images and the like? So those are what would try to like cover in depth here. Please let me know if I'm making sense or if you want me to like go back on some things before we dive deep into these things. Okay. So I think it's good to hear feedback. So let me get feedback from you guys before we go on.
Yeah, so far so interesting.
Oh, I'm just checking the comments. You can see the big guys, not this guy. Okay, please let me this guy. So I don't have money. All right, so let's move on now. Brands and colors. Brands and colors. Let me see if I can share my screen here, or let me see if there's any other thing I would want to cover in brand before we move on. Okay. I think I have something. Let me share my screen here, and let me just show you guys a brief of what brand anatomy looks like. So in building a brand, for a business or for a product, there are so many. Don't share entire screen. Share window. Just give me a minute, please. Okay. Just let me know when you can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, you can see your screen.
Okay. All right. Awesome. So there's something we call the brand anatomy, and this is what is actually still more. Some of it still has other trees, right? I think they call it trees or so. I don't know, but a basic brand, right? A go-to-market type of like brand anatomy, right? This is what a lot entails, and people tend to take some parts in isolation. So let me say, can you see my mouse? Please let me know if you can see my mouse, or I just use a pen.
I can't see your
I
mouse.
cannot see your mouth.
Okay, that's my mouth. Okay, let me use the pen. Okay. All right, let's just go on. All right. So people tend to, this is just like a basic brand anatomy. Building a brand for any product, any business, anything, right? This is all it has to play, right? So if you want to build a personal brand, you can actually just tweak some of these things to just fit into what you want to do. So there's one part, we have the brand strategy point of view, and we have the expression part of it. So from the brand strategy point of view, this is the part where people do not see, and this is actually the major player. When we get here, you will see how we will transition into colors and typography and every other thing, right? So I think understanding this first should actually be where we should have started from. Okay, so let's go on. So brand strategy, we have internal brand and we have the positioning. Now for you see some people, they call themselves brand strategies, brand this one, brand that, and the like. So what they just do is that they understand this part of it. This part of the brand anatomy is where they specialize in. This side here, which is the part that a lot of people don't see. I don't know if it was Tola Alabi that was saying it, that whether he was saying designs you don't, that the best of designs are not the ones that they see. Yeah, I think it was something around that. I don't know if I'm getting it word for word, but it was saying something around the best of designs are not the ones you see physically. Trust me, the best of designs are not what you see physically. And this is where it is. This is where everything is done. This big circle here, this is where it's done. So the internal brand and the positioning. The internal brand is now where you define your purpose. So what does your brand believe in, and what is the reason for the essence of this brand? So you need to understand, why are we even building an identity for this business or for this product? Why are we creating a perception for this product in the first place? So the reason could be commercial benefits, right? I want to be able to send um, cross-border payment. I want to be able to initiate cross-border payment without people having a what should I use? Without people having to like leave their house or go to a bank or go to a physical bank or something, right? That could be their purpose. So why does your brand exist in the first place? So that's what we discuss in purpose. So you need to like understand that from the root of it. Then the vision side is what's your aspirations like? Where do you want to be? So part of it is, I think, for Nike, I think, sorry, for Apple, their kind of tagline is like think differently. And I think what they said they want to do is um seeing the world differently. They inspire their customers to see the world differently. So there's a kind of like experience you kind of get when you use an Apple phone. And I was trying to explain to people when it comes to like brand positioning and branding and the likes, is that if I give you a iPhone X and I give you the latest techno, a lot of people will still pick iPhone X. And iPhone X was released like 3-4 years ago, and the latest techno was released like, I think Fireboy did a campaign for it like a couple of weeks or days ago, maybe like last month, thereabout. But a lot of people will still pick iPhone over the latest techno. Why? Because there is this perception we already have of an iPhone. And at the end of the day, we realize that the major goal of a phone is to be able to call, send message, take pictures, take videos, um, post online, send message. I could be able to reach Chike. Chike is in Lagos. I'm not in Lagos. How can I reach Chike? That's like the major goal of using a phone. But there's just that kind of like extra premium and hype vibe you get when you use an iPhone. So if I could ask people here, if I give you iPhone X and the latest techno, a lot of people will pick iPhone X. A lot of people will pick iPhone X because they want to be saying Twitter for iPhone, not Twitter for Android. Sure, you get me? So these are the things that go on internally from a brand, right? So the vision is where does your brand aspire to be? So when people are creating like brands, I tell them to like just think like 5 years. Where do you want to see your brand in the next 5 years, right? Do you want to be like the leading industries, so that you want to have, it could be financial goals, right? It could be that you want to you want to be a unicorn in the next 5 years. I mean, that is a good aspiration, right? Then for the mission side of it is that what commitment your brand have to make for the future, right? For the future, sorry. What are the things you do now that's going to make you achieve these goals? Then your values are, what are the things your brand hold dear to art? Could it be integrity? Could it be sincerity? Could it be honesty? It could be anything, right? What are your core values? You see a lot of companies say their core values. These are the things that drive them as a brand. So the moment they start losing their value, they kind of start like creating negative impression of the brand. Okay, then that's from the internal brand. So the moment we've done all these things and we just tend to like list them out, purpose this, vision this, mission this, values this, right? Then for the positioning point of view now, who are your audience? Who are your target audience? So if my target audience is a 40-year-old, or there are people, I want to create like an health insurance policy for people within the ages of 50 to 80. Those are my target audience, right? Health insurance policies strictly for people between 80 or 90, or strictly for people that are liable to take pension or to start collecting their pension. I don't know if that's correct, but those are my target audience. Now, if you want to select a color or a typography for people like that, you know that you have to think about the sights of people with this age. You know that most especially people within the ages of 50, 60, 70, 80s, right? Their eyesight might not be really as sharp as it was when they were 20. So you have to choose a color that when they see, they can easily read what you are saying. If you are choosing a typography, you have to pick a font that is easily legible. Is legible, right? Is the readability is, they don't have to like stress their eyes. Even without their glasses, they could still be able to see what is on their screen or on their phone. Okay, so if you are designing mobile applications, you have to like make a lot of things big so they can see it too. So that is you understanding your audience. Now, my audience is 50 to 80. Who are my competitors in this game? Who are those that are doing something similar to what I'm doing? Some people say I don't have competitors. It's not possible. Have you gone to Uganda? Have you gone to Kenya? Have you gone to Somalia? Have you gone to all these places in the world? And you're telling me that there's nobody that is doing something similar in the ages or this world? I don't think that's possible, Sha. I don't think it could be, but just very different um situation that might happen there. Okay, competitors. Now, understanding your competitors is you knowing what have been doing in the industry that has been working for them. So if those that are in this industry and they are making a lot of money, they have a lot of customers, there's a type of way they communicate. You're like, okay, I think if this communication has been working for them, what can we do differently to tend to like make us stand out from every other person that's been playing in this space, right? So that's where the differentiator comes in. What's that difference that you are making, that you are bringing to the game that will make people that are already in company A come to you, people that are already in company B come to you, people that are company C come to you. So that's the differentiator. So these are the parts that people do not see. These are the things that you don't see on a flyer, you don't see on a web application, you don't see on a mobile application, you don't see. But as a designer or as a body designer, like someone type, right? You need to like understand this. If it's from a product point of view, you need to understand the purpose of the product, the vision, the values of that business, right? Why the audience? Why are they trying to like communicate with? Why are the competitors playing in this space? This is where you do your research and the likes, right? And the differentiator, what is company A and company B doing that is making people come to them? How can I take that, renovate what they are doing or reinvent what they are doing and add my own finesse to it? I was taking some guys, I said, in everything you do, try and add like a sprinkle of finesse in everything you do. Even if it's a small sprinkle of finesse, just add something to it now. So that's that from the brand strategy point of view. So for the brand expression point of view is you have your character, your personality. We already know what you want to do. Now, how does your personality now to reflect what you want to do? So this is me breaking it down in the simplest terms possible, right? So how does your personality reflect what you want to do? So look at someone like a Ronaldo, right? He's a footballer. Maybe his purpose is to play football. His vision could be to be the world best footballer in, I don't know, maybe it's to win 15 Ballon d'Ors. I don't know what his vision could be, but let's just say to win 10 Ballon d'Ors. His mission, right? Constantly train, go to play for football companies, all the commitments you have to make to just do it, right? Get an agent and the likes and all that stuff. Then his values, right? What could be his value? Integrity, sincerity, honesty, competence, blah 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 blah, and the likes. So who are the audience? His audience are people who love football, people who are passionate about football. It's competitors in the space. We have Neymar, we have Mbappe, we have Messi. So what differentiates Ronaldo to be crowned the world best footballer from these guys that I've mentioned now? So his own could be it could be physical strength. That could be his differentiator. Some said so a differentiator could be very good differentiator is the celebration, the way he celebrates. He has this unique celebration mode. There's a way Ronaldo wants to play a penalty or a free kick. There's a way he stands. Those are the little things that make a difference for people, but people don't know, right? So for yesterday when we were having this space and people were talking about branding, as little as a Netflix, if I want to describe Netflix to somebody now, for someone that watches movie but does not know the brand, I'll say, when you're watching Netflix, you used to hear tadum, that sound tadum, and you just see letter N tadum. That's the only thing I can think of that resonates with Netflix. Any other thing is zero for me. When you talk about Netflix, all just come to my head is tadum, that intro sound. That's kind of like dramatic intro sound of Netflix. That is it. Every other thing, that is Netflix major differentiator compared to every other person that does like a blockbuster movie or any of these things, right? So that's the differentiator for Ronaldo. The way he plays his penalties, the way he plays his free kick, right? The number of the training hours he does, he has this physical strength compared to every other person I've mentioned. His jump power is amazing. His head, using his head to score, to do anything is amazing. His styles, his skills. You could see that there's something different from a Ronaldo to a Messi. Messi is a very good dribbler, but compared to Ronaldo, there are other things that differentiate both of them. So you can see that a Messi,
Yeah.
Ronaldo, people like Messi, some people like Ronaldo because they all have different things that are there. So that's just it from the differentiator point of view. Now, from the brand expression point of view, the character, the personality, what is your personality as a person? If you want to be the best, the world best footballer, what are that thing? How do you want to resonate with these people? Do I want to be humble? Do I want to be rude? Do I want to be harsh? Do I want to be straightforward? Do I want to be very professional in the way I do it? It's just strictly football and nothing else. I don't care whether your family is dying. It's just I just play football and go on, right? That's just me. So your personality too need to like reflect who you are internally, right? From the brand voice point of view, this is your tone of voice. This is the way you speak, the way you talk, the way you communicate with people, right? Are you communicating that's I'm kind of like a luxurious person. I like luxury. I like anything luxury. So if you want something that is luxurious, are you communicating it in a luxurious way? Are you putting value on yourself just by the way you speak? So that's where your brand voice, and brand voice also it's just your tone of voice in summary, your tone of your voice. How do you want to speak? Do I want to be playful? Do I want to be professional? Do I want to be there are some other tone of voices there, Sha. So that's just it on brand voice. Then your verbal expression, right? What's your name? Everybody has a name. Busayo, Black, Chike, Divine, right? What name do you want people to use to identify you? Your tagline, could it be just do it, think differently, and the like? So your brand promise, what's that promise that you want to give to your customers or to your users when they use your product, or when they like come across you? So that's just your brand promise. And like then your core message. Your core message is the way you put out your copywriting. There should be this manner or style, right, in the way you communicate, and that's where your core message is. So in everything you're trying to like communicate, your core message is always there. You read that, you read it there. Look at Nike. Nike is more, they are more of a like motivation. So in every advert Nike does, you would always see that little bit of motivational spike in it. It's always there. You just try to like sprinkle it one or two of these times. Coca-Cola is a very good example. There's always this feeling, more on family, more on friendship, more on they just something that has to be like love and bringing people together. That is what like Coca-Cola, most of the adverts is usually within that space. Then your story, how do you tell your story going forward and the likes, right? So the last part being your visual expression, your visual identity is your logo. Basically, your logo, your business cards, your letterheads, your branded merchandises, your what else? Your banners and the like. That is what is in visual identity. And your presence is what platforms are you on? Your presence, are you showing up on a physical store? Are you showing up on a website or an Instagram page? Or that's just where your presence is, right? So all these things now put together is what makes up a successful brand. In any brand that attaches everything, every word you are seeing here together, trust me, the brand will do amazingly well out there. But a lot of people tend to miss it. They tend to think just having visual identity and presence, my brand is the good to go. LOL. Some people just want logo and they just want to have a website and they are fine. Okay, you see all this remaining here. This is where the work is. This side, this brand expression and the likes, not just here. So that's just it on brand anatomy. Then personality, sincerity, excitement, competence, education, ruggedness, right? So if you can look at this, you can see that for a brand that wants to like play in the sincerity side, right? Family oriented, small town, honest, real, wholesome, and the like. So this is just like a brand personality framework, right? So we tend to like divide it into 5 to make it so you are not having like so many personalities. So there's no way you have to fit into 1 or 2 of this personality framework. So when you think of a rugged brand, what comes to your head? when you think of a rugged brand, what comes to your head? Maybe you can unmute and speak, so we make it very, very interactive. So from here, we'll transition into colors. So you see how it all makes sense at the end of the day, and how you choose your colors. So rugged brands. Anybody can just speak. When you think of a rugged brand, what comes to your head?
I think what comes to my head when I think of a rugged brand is a brand that has been able to withstand challenges over the years.
Okay. Can you name a brand? Can you name a brand? A
Okay.
brand is something
The brand we've been
outdoor,
arguing about.
something
Sorry?
tough. Okay, like a tough
Okay,
brand,
I
an
would say
outdoor brand.
Coca-Cola. I don't know.
Okay, let's
Coca-Cola.
say Coca-Cola. Let's just, is it Coke? Is it COC? Have it Coca-Cola? Coca-Cola. Okay. All right. Any other person? I can't see the chat box, so just in case you are trying like type. Coca-Cola.
For me, I think. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
Okay. For me, a rugged brand is like this. You know, this St. Louis sugar that we've been using like since we were kids. Dangote came, but people still use St. Louis. I don't know why. I've not seen them do like adverts, like,
Even
but
Gary does.
they've been standing strong for a very long time, and people still trust their brand. So
Okay.
for me, that's a rugged brand.
How about Gary?
Gary is a very, very, very good brand. Okay. All right.
Indomie too.
What about sophistication? I'll come back to that. What about sophistication? Something more on the upper class, something luxurious, like a luxurious brand. That's what's in sophistication.
Yeah, I would say I would go with Sweet Home. Sweet Home, like this toilet WC that they use. They have different brands. So Sweet
Okay.
Home is sophisticated and upper class.
Okay.
How about Apple products?
Apple. Okay.
How about Nike?
Nike. Okay. Why are people not mentioning Gucci, then Prada, then Louis Vuitton? Those are luxurious brands. Okay. So let's move. Let's move. So let me show you guys something. Are we take you to the next slide and you'll see. So a rugged brand. Let's start from the bottom. So a Timberland. How many of you know a Timberland shoe? You can wear a Timberland shoe for 10 years and it will still remain the same.
Yes.
It's a shoe. They are very, very rugged. Like they have this tough, how do I put it? You know that they're like a street kind of brand. They're brand that there is no how you will want to use me. I will still stand. I will still be very, very solid. Look at the Jeep. Have you seen a Jeep? That's like a tautology though. I always like a Jeep, like the car Jeep. The car Jeep can climb a mountain. That's something that's very rugged. It's solid. It has a firm grip when you like use them. A brand that also fits here is like a Monster Energy, something that gives you this. I think someone was correct when they said Apple in sophistication. Yeah, Apple fits perfectly in sophistication. Very luxurious. Gucci brand, the sophisticated brand. I mean, anytime you say Gucci, there's this, you tend to like feel fly. You wear a Rolex wristwatch, you're like, oh, I'm a bad guy now. I'm like you're a bad demon of the 20th century or 21st century, right? Then competence, right? Let's look at what is in competence: reliable, intelligent, technical, and corporate, right? Google, reliable brand, competent, right? Let's come back here. Hardworking, secure. Intel, Microsoft, Volvo, they all fit into the competence personality framework, right? Excitement is spirited, imaginative, daring, trending, exciting, right? Coca-Cola, when you use a Coca-Cola, you're always excited. That's the feeling, right? There's this excitement when you get when you drink Coca-Cola. Tesla, unique, trending, contemporary, up to date, imaginative. That is where Tesla fits in. So same thing for Nike, exciting, trending, cool, imaginative, blah 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 blah. So this is just like a summary of the framework. Then sincerity, right? Sorry. Sincerity, honest, wholesome, cheerful, down to earth, and the like. So this is just like a brand personality framework, right? So every brand out there, they tend to like fit into one or two of these personality frameworks. But at the end of the day, you most likely fit into, you have more of one than every other personality that's there. So that is just, this is just like a summary of brands, right? And picking a color now. Let's use this screen to pick colors now. So if you want to look very sophisticated, now you've decided that, okay, it's personality, how do I put it? My type of brand or my type of product now, we fit into more of the it's more of a luxurious product. Well, let me think of a luxurious product now. For example, is maybe Gucci. You're a designer, you're a product designer for Gucci now. So the colors that you are going to be using has to be colors that communicate a luxurious feeling when you look at them. Most times when we think of luxury, we think of gold, we think of silver, we think of black, we think of white, right? These are colors that communicate luxury in a way. Gold, I mean, everybody loves gold. When you have gold, you are like one of the richest, right? So people want to like use gold and use black, right? So that's why you see most of all the companies that use, or brands or product that use black, there is always that sense of luxury that you want to communicate in their when they're doing their like internal strategy or like developing a brand or something, right? So that is sophistication. So if you want to choose colors for a flyer, you want to choose colors. I don't know, maybe it's just product designing or graphic designing that is here or the like, but let me just speak about it generally in the design space, right? So if you want to design for you are creating a flyer for a Pastor Adeboye now, for example, Pastor Adeboye. Now you're thinking, what is Pastor Adeboye's personality? Where does he fit in? Is he more of is he a luxurious person? Like, no, he's not more of a luxurious person. Is he rugged? No. Is he more of the competence point of view? Like, okay, let's check what competence is. Someone that is reliable, hardworking, secure, technical, corporate, successful leader, and confident, right? Okay, let's see. So you just check and just do your like internal assessment of the product or the person. What does the person personality? So what you just do is that you just list them out. The way we do it is that you just list all these adjectives or what all these words that like resonate with the product or with the person. You list them out. Then you now try to like break them out and just simplify it, right? So for someone like a Pastor Adeboye, is honest, is reliable, is competent, is professional, is he likes growing people. You can help me out, Sha, if I'm missing. He's more of a spiritual person, yeah. So he's old. So all those things now, you now list them out, you put it somewhere, you put it in a box, yeah. You now go on and do your research on colors. Now, for every color in the world, there is a meaning behind every color in the world. There is a meaning behind every color. Every color you see, except those that maybe it's a small child that mixed the color together, shy, just carry paint and pot together. It doesn't know what it's doing. But for most of the primary colors and mostly maybe secondary colors, right? Maybe we might not talk about tertiary colors, but for the primary colors and secondary colors, they have a meaning. They all have a meaning. So if you want to create a sophisticated brand, you know that you most likely play around black, gold, silver, and there is no way you want to sell something premium or luxury and you are not looking like, we talked about branding now, is how you look, how people are perceived, right? How the people perceive you in the market, and your colors also determine how people like see you. So you can't tell me you're luxurious and you're using red, you're you're using green. I mean, is this plain? What type of plain is that? So that is that. So purple too, yeah. Purple also fits into the luxury spectrum, right? So that's just the side on selecting the colors now. So let's now go into colors. Let's do understanding of colors. How do all these colors even come into play? When I hear shade, tint, value, saturation, hue, tone, temperature, what are the meanings of all these things, right? Then we can now start selecting the colors. Then if we still have time, we can now go into typography. All right, so let me end my screen. Start. Okay. So let me know if I have made sense in the few minutes I'm in here. Then we can go on. Comment, guys.
Yes, that made sense, sir.
Okay. All right. But let me say I've made sense. Okay.
I mean, it was really insightful. We know now, personally, now I know better about branding.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah,
And
I've really learned a lot. I know now that brand is not just logos, colors, all these things. They are all what makes up a brand, but they are not just the brand itself. There's so many things that's entailed in brand identity. Like right now, I'm trying to help my friend with her brand. She's starting up a cake shop, and it's just like an expo for me right now.
uh,
So it's nice.
okay. Awesome. 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 Okay. All right. Cool. So now let's go into colors. Let's go into colors. If you have questions for me in this phase, you can please ask. So we take them. If not, let's just go on. All right. So colors, we have basically three colors. Like we all know, primary colors are back then in primary school, secondary school, primary nursery. What are primary? Primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. I cannot forget the way we used to sing it back then in nursery school. So primary colors, red, yellow, and blue. Those are like the three primary colors we have. Then a mixture of a primary color, a mixture of two primary colors gives us a secondary color. So the mixture of red, primary colors are red, yellow, and blue, right? Yeah, red, yellow, blue. I'm confused already. You. I'm probably sorry to confirm. I think I'm
That's
already
correct.
running.
That's correct.
Okay, primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. So mixing these colors together will give you the secondary colors. So if you mix red and blue, it gives you a color. If you mix blue and what's the
Blue and
name?
yellow give
Blue and
green.
yellow together, it gives you another color. If you mix another color together, so if you mix yellow and red, it gives you orange. So this is how you create secondary colors. Like this is just the way colors are being created or being populated. Let me use that word. So red and yellow gives you orange. Yellow and blue gives you green. Red
Yeah.
and blue gives you purple.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you've created your secondary colors. Now, for you to be able to create your tertiary colors, you have to mix a primary color and a secondary color together. So you mixing orange and red together gives you another color. You mixing red and purple. Let me make this more. Let's make it visual. Let me share my screen. Please just give me a minute, please. Give me a minute. I want to pull up something. So you can just use this period to like maybe get water or something. So in the next like 2 minutes, I'll be back.
Okay, so if we have questions, we can write them down in the chat box. Then I'll collate them and would ask I will ask Busayo later so he can help us out. Any question you have, it might be related to what he's teaching
or something about design you always wanted to ask, you can write them down in the chat box. I'll collect them, then we'll ask him those questions and he'll help us with them. So thank you.
All right. I'm back, guys. Okay. So let me share my screen. Just give me some time. Give me some time. Okay. Let me share my screen here. Just let me know when you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen now.
Okay. All right. Awesome. So this is a sample. So I want to make it very practical so we understand this. No. Use black here. So this is Affinity Designer. So it's just like a use it to design, just like we have Photoshop, Illustrator, Figma, and the like. So this is also a design tool that people use. So yeah. Um. So like I said initially, we have three primary colors. We have red, we have yellow, we have blue. This is blue, this is red. So don't worry about the shade or the tint, right? It's not really what we are after here. We just want to see how colors are being created. So this is blue, this is yellow, this is red, which are the three primary colors we have. Now, for you to be able to create a secondary color, you have to mix, the mixture of blue and yellow gives us green here. The mixture of blue and red here gives us purple, this purple here. The mixture of yellow and red gives us orange here. All right, now for us now to be able to create tertiary colors now, we need to now mix one primary color with a secondary color. Okay, let me do something so I don't make it. Let me just take this out. Just give me a minute, guys. Give me a minute. Do, 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 do. Okay. Please don't mind what I'm doing. No, just please just bear with me. I'm just trying to like make this very practical so it's easier for us to get. I should have done this before the class. Apologies. Apologies. Okay. So I think we have, let me just add this. Okay, I think this makes sense now. Okay. Okay. Please let me know if you can see my screen. If we are still together.
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Yes, we are still together.
Okay. Okay. All right. So this kind of like makes sense now. So we have three primary colors. We have red, yellow, and blue. So the mixture of red and the mixture of two primary colors will give us our secondary colors, right? Which is like, I mean, we all know that. So for us to be able to get our color wheel or to be able to generate our colors, we have to mix red and blue together. So the mixture of red and blue together is going to give us purple. No, that's not purple. Okay. It's going to give us purple. The mixture of red and blue together gives us purple. The mixture of blue and yellow gives us green. Let me see, is this the green? Is this green? Okay, gives us green. The mixture of blue and yellow gives us green. The mixture of yellow and red together should give us orange. Yes, should give us orange now. So we've created our secondary colors. So let me make this lighter. Let me make this lighter. Okay. We've created our secondary colors now. For us to be able to create a tertiary color, we have to mix a primary color with a secondary color. So we've said initially that red, yellow, and blue are our primary colors. Then our secondary colors that we've created are orange, green, and purple. So for us to get another tertiary color, we have to mix purple. We have to mix purple and red together. So the mixture of purple and red together is giving us more like a lilac. I don't know. I really don't. I don't know, but the mixture of yeah, it's giving us this type of color. The colors are not perfect, though, but we understand. So the mixture, when you mix a purple and a red together, it gives us this. So if you mix purple and blue together, it should give us a different shade here. It gives us this. It gives us this kind of like a darker purple. Then a green and a blue mixed together, green being a secondary color, blue being a primary color, right? The mixture of these two together should give us a color here. So let me see this. Okay, it gives us this color. Now, the mixture of yellow and green together should give us, let me see. Okay, it gives us this. Give us like a lemon kind of color. So the mixture of so the mixture of yellow and red together and orange, sorry, should give us just give me a minute. Should give us this. So the mixture of orange and red will give us the final color. So this is like the basic color scheme we have. These colors are what we have now. How do you now pick your colors? So we have different styles of picking colors, and the first one being a monochromatic scheme, right? What that means is that you are using one the colors that are adjacent to each other. Let me take this away, or let me just hide it. If you want to pick colors now and you want to use the um, complementary color, rather, so you want to use a complementary color. So a complementary color is colors that are sitting opposite each other. So if I take my ruler now, let me see. Let me use my ruler. Yes, sorry. Wow. Okay. Sorry, please, just bear with me. I'm not a pro designer, so I take my time to do some things. Okay, now, so if we pick this green and yellow and red, they will have a very good color combination. Green and this, and green and yellow. What am I saying? Sorry, green and red, right? They are very good color combinations. So if you want to pick a color, you can pick green, and a complementary color that's going to fit for green is red. So if I turn this here and I want to use yellow, I mean, we all see this a lot, right? Yellow and purple, they are very good color combination, right? So this is like a basic way of you picking your colors using complementary colors. So if you pick purple, a complementary color to purple is yellow. So if I turn this again and I try to like pick, let me use this. So blue and orange are colors that go together. Blue and orange are colors that go. So no matter how you turn this, right? So far they are complementary colors. The colors that are sitting opposite or sitting across each other's on this color wheel are colors that fit together. So you can actually use this style to pick your colors. Then the second style is the analogous scheme, right? So what that means is that you're picking 2 to 4 colors that are sitting next to each other. So if I pick 1, 2, these 2 colors, I can perfectly walk around these 2 colors. If I pick these 2 colors, yeah, this is a very good color scheme. These 2. If I pick these 2, this is a very good color scheme. If I pick this and this, they kind of like look the same though, but probably because of the shade we used. But these 3, 1, 2, 3 shouldn't be the same color. They look similar, but they are not. If I use the exact color of red here. So if I pick these 2 together too, they fit together. So if I also try to like, so analogous is saying you can use 2 to 4 colors next to each other. So even if I pick 1, 2, 3, right? This is a very good color scheme. This 3 here in the middle, very good color scheme. When you want to pick your colors, 1, 2, 3, this 3 also good color scheme, right? 1, so 3 to 4, you can even make it 4. If let me create a new artboard here, so we can see. Okay, so this, let me move this guy here. Okay. Let me see if I make this black. Would it come out better? Okay, I think this is nice. This black is actually okay. Okay, so if I pick 1, 2, 3, 4, any 4 colors, this is a very good color scheme you can use. If I pick 1, 2, 3, 4, this is a good color scheme. 1, so any 4, whether 2, you are picking 2 sitting next to each other, or you're picking 3 that are sitting next to each other, or 4, but between 2 to 4 colors that are sitting next to each other is called the analogous scheme. Then the triadic scheme is this. So 3 colors that are evenly spaced across the color wheel. So that's triadic. So 3 colors that are evenly spaced. So let me draw my ruler here. So 1, 2, and 1. I'll stop here. And 1, 2. Okay. So this now. So if I pick using the triadic scheme, if you want to use the triadic scheme to like pick colors, 1, 2, 3 is a good combination. Let me paste it here. So these three colors being, I mean, these are the primary colors. So you can use these three colors together. So if you turn this wheel now, if you turn this guy and you pick, let me see where it fits in. So I think my wheel is not perfect, but one, two, three, these three, pasting it here. This is a very good color scheme too. Then, so what it just means using the traffic scheme is just picking, using a perfect, so picking three colors that are evenly spaced, that are perfectly evenly spaced between around the wheel. So you look at the spaces between, yes, three colors, three colors, three colors. So that means if I can pick one, I can pick two, and I can pick three. This guy, because there are colors in the middle, three colors in the middle, three colors in the middle, meaning that I can use the triadic scheme to pick this color. So I pick these three, 1, 2, 3. So looking at it already, you can see that OGL, let me use Nigerian language, Nigerian slang. OGL, the colors, it makes sense, right? So you can use these three. So this is just like the foundational way of picking colors, but I mean, the tech has gone into tech has made everything all different and easy for us, but we will get there. But if you want to do like the traditional way, this is traditional way of doing it. So that's that for the triadic scheme. Then we have this split complementary scheme. What that says is that a base color and two colors adjacent to its complementary color. So don't mind if my grammars are too much. That's why I'm trying to like make it very practical. So for the split complementary scheme, is something like this. Split complementary scheme is something like this. So what that means is that this color, and this color perfectly works. So you can see it here. If I rotate this guy to something like this, yeah, this color, this color, this color perfectly works. Can you see? You can already see that it looks like a perfect combination already without even, I can create a logo around this. Sorry, let me I can create an identity around, or let me just use logo. I can create a logo around this, create a product around this, or give this color to my customers and say, okay, any of your communication, any of your design, any of your flyer you're putting out, anything you want to do, your website, and make sure you work around these three colors. You can use tints, you can use shades, but it's perfectly fine, right? But these three colors would like work for you. Then if I rotate this guy again to something like this, let me see this, okay. Then I can pick 1, 2, sorry. I can pick 1, 2, what's going on? I can pick 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm pressing the wrong key. Oh, there's a problem. Okay. I can pick these three. I paste it here. These three colors, the perfect. You just looking at it, you can see that it looks kind of like perfect. So that is that for the split complementary scheme. So a base color and the two colors adjacent to it, complementary colors. So that's just it for that. Then the triadic rectangular scheme. Okay, please, if it's getting very complicated, please just let me know. So these are 4 colors that are arranged in complementary pairs. You know, we started initially that we said complementary pairs are complementary colors or complementary scheme as colors that are sitting opposite or across each other. So let's my pen here. So we have 1, 2, 3. Then we have sorry. So if I'm using orange and blue, right, I can now use orange, blue. Okay. Sorry. I can use orange and blue, yellow and purple. So if I rotate this guy, I can use this color, this color, this color. But this is already getting very advanced, though. This is getting very, very advanced. So I'm just saying this for you to know how to select colors. Like if you're doing it from or you want to explain to somebody how do you select colors, or how are colors generated, color schemes generated. So this is it. So most of all the AI application you see out there, colors and the likes, right? The foundation of them being able to give you color schemes is this. This is like the foundation of colors. Anybody will tell you this. So This is that for the triangle. Then for the square scheme is very simple. Just use this is square, so I can use 1, 2, 3, 4 perfectly well. These 4 colors go together. So if I rotate this guy to and be like, let me see this, I can pick 1, 2, 3, 4 colors together. Right, I can use these 4 colors together and they will work perfectly well for me. Right, so that's just it on selecting colors. Now, how do you now know the colors to pick for you to be able to like find the complementary colors? So this is where we now go back to the brand anatomy that we discussed, right? So each of these colors that you see here, they have a representation, or they have what they represent, right? Everybody know green to be a color that represents growth. So if you want to, because of how it's relating to grass, and grass they grow, right? So green, if you are working for like a agricultural brand now, you will realize that most of all the agri tech, agri something, there's always green there, right? That is why people use green. So we are working with health, in the health space, right? You realize that most of all these hospitals, most of all these pharmacies, right, they tend to use red because of blood, related to blood, right? Red and blood is, and that's where they play in, right? They use blood. So for which other color is there? For blue, blue is more of like a competent professional kind of color. So you realize that all the major banks, fintech companies, most of them play around blue. I mean, there are exceptions to it, depending on what you've done in your in the internet, the brand strategy point of view that we discussed like few minutes ago. It depends on what you've done there and the personality of the brand, right? That's about for banks, right? Because of how their money is, security, integrity. Blue tends to like represent security, integrity, and the like. So that is that. So when you now say that, okay, I want to play in the agri-tech space now, and I want to use green. So using this scheme that has been explained, which color do I want to like use to which of these scheme do I want to like pick my complementary color? So that is where you now start thinking of using should I use the split complementary scheme? Should I use tradic scheme? Should I use complementary? Should I use any of all these schemes to like pick my colors? But I mean, this is just a long shot, right? I don't think I would want to, except if I just want to explain to a client and say that, see, I did not just choose your colors out of choice, right? This is the foundation of colors. Then I can now start breaking it down that we mix this and this, it gives us purple. Those are like story, but yeah, there are platforms that you can go to be able to select your colors. That we just all you just have to do is just pick the first shade you want, and you can get it will like multiply to give you like other various schemes. So we'll go there. So before we go into diving deep into colors and their meaning, then selecting colors and the likes, let's now talk of some basic terms in colors. So you hear things like people say hue, H-U-E. H-U-E, what that just mean is a color. I don't know whether it's hue or hue or hue. I don't know, but it's H-U-E, sha. I did not study English in school. I studied accounting. So HUE, what that just means is that is the name of a color, whether the color is red, purple, the hue of a color, or the hue is just what hue are you using, what color are you using, that's the meaning. What hue is what color, is it blue, is it green, is it red, is it purple, is it lilac? That's just the meaning of hue. So saturation is the intensity of a hue, the intensity of a color. So if a color is has high saturation, it means that it is very bright. So you sometimes you see that maybe you are editing a picture, you are saying something like adjust saturation. What that means is just you are increasing the intensity of that color or the image. You're making it very, very, very bright. That is saturation. So reducing it now, called desaturation. That's just making it faded out, right? So that is saturation. Saturation is just the intensity of a color. Then shades. Shades are colors that are produced adding black. So you can hear, give me shades, give me shade of our primary color. maybe you're working with a brand and they have like primary colors, and like you give me a shade of yellow. So what that just means is that you can add, the moment you start adding black, if you add black to yellow, one, if you click on black, it gives you a different color. That's the shade of black, and a shade of yellow. Sorry, if you add black to that color, it gives you again. It gives you another shade. So the moment you start adding black to those colors, you're generating different shades of that of yellow. But you're still on the main color. Please take note. You're still on the main color yellow. So the reason why I'm just adding shades is because sometimes you might want to use a darker shade. The light one might not really fit in, so you just need the shade. So instead of really picking on that color, you can just add shades, right? Use different shades. So at the end of the day, when you start adding black, they all just amount to black. At the end of the day, the color just turns completely black, right? So those are shades. Shades are colors that you get adding increasing amount of black. Then tints is just increasing amount of white, right? So shade, increasing amount of black to a color, adding increasing amount of black to a color. Tint, adding increasing amount of yellow of white to a color. Then tone is adding increasing amount of gray to a color. So that's just it. Then what else again? What else is there? Contrast. Yeah, you can hear contrast too when it comes to colors. The contrast is just difference between two or more colors in a composition or a artboard or a design or something. Two or more colors. So the contrast is that you're trying to like determine which colors comes first, right? Which one is more visible? Which one do you want people to see more? So if you look at these two color, you realize that the yellow has high contrast compared to this kind of like teal color here. So so you also need to like know which one if you want to make the dominant color and the one that is not like. So that's just contrast. Contrast is just the difference between two or more elements in a composition. So it could be size, it could be anything, but that's just that on design principles, that contrast. So what else again? What else? Let me see. I think that's that. So yeah, another part is monochromatic scheme. Is you could hear monochromatic when it comes. All this are just grammar actually. It's just grammar. So monochromatic scheme is just you picking one color. I'm picking red, and I'm using it with black or white or gray. That's the monochromatic scheme. So you can see some brands that they are just black and white. It's just black and white. That means, or red and white. So red plus white gives you a monochromatic scheme. Red plus black gives you a monochromatic scheme. Red plus gray gives you a monochromatic scheme. So blue plus white, blue plus gray, blue plus black is monochromatic. Purple plus white, purple plus black, purple plus gray. So two colors. One main color, then with white, gray, or black gives you a monochromatic scheme. So that's just that on colors. So let's now go into. So you've already understood how colors are generated. So this is now where the professionalism now comes to play in selecting colors. You understanding the meaning behind every color, and you being able to like choose colors wisely, or choose the right color for the right product or for the right market, for the right audience. That is where the main work is. So you can just see some people just say, oh, I think I like red, let me choose red. No, it doesn't work that way, right? It doesn't work that way. And yeah, so how I choose my colors is very simple. I will show you the practical way. Okay, I think Tommy Sin. Tommy Sin is my guy. All right, so this is it. So let me make it very practical, right? Just type meaning of color green. So you will see that it is not me, it is what people have been saying. So let me see if I can zoom this in. Okay, I think I can zoom in. So green, the color of life, renewal, nature, and energy. So when you are creating an identity, for example, now, so what we do is that there's a mind mapping stage that we go through. I think it's also in the product design stage too. So we just list out adjectives. We list out things that are relating to the brand or to the product, like words, adjectives that relate to the brand, relate to the product, relate to the business, relate to the person, because you can brand anything. Anything is brandable, right? what are the words that are relating to this thing. So we just list them out, then we break them down to maybe I think like five. I don't know. I think five. Yeah, I think five. The five top ones, because sometimes you can say safety and security, and they mean the same thing actually. So you list so many words that are representing them. You can now start breaking down. Okay, safety, security, and protection. They mean the same thing actually. So let me pick one. Fresh, new. They mean the same thing. Let me pick one. So that's just so meaning of color green. Color green represents growth, harmony, freshness, safety, fertility, and environment, right? So yeah, so they say green is also traditionally associated with money, finance, banking, ambition, and greed, jealousy. You can see. So if you want to create a brand, you're already understanding the personality of the brand, personality of the product now, and you now want to like give colors to it. So you need to like understand, okay, green. Looking at the personality of this product, should we use green? What is the meaning of green? What does green communicate? What is the positive and the negative of green? So please note, every color has a positive and a negative. Oh, not just, let me see, there's a, yeah, I think I kind of like saved this somewhere. There are so many things in my head, so I don't really store all these things on my head, but Google is there to help all the time. Okay, so green symbolizes harmony, safety, growth, and health. Green affects balance, relax, encourages positive, generosity, hope, prosperity, luck. The negative side of green, judgmental, envy, materialism, and inexperience. So that's green. So let's look at the key what green symbolizes: harmony, safety, growth, and health. Okay, so that means that if you want to work with a brand in the health sector, agricultural sector, you use something more of a green. Safety, when something is safe, you lock it, it's green, it shows that it's growing, it's safe, you use something around green. So let's look at red. So even you as a person, right, creating your own, what am I saying? Red of color green. Meaning of color red. Okay. Even you as a person, right? If you're that person that you want to build your own personal brand you want people to perceive you as luxurious, right? I don't know, I just like luxury. Maybe that's what I'm saying, luxurious. You want people to be perceiving you as someone that's competent in your own space, right? Pick colors, the type of designs you put out there to represent your brand. Let it be colors that will speak to who you are as a person. Do you get me? So if you want to maybe you want to be like a thought leader in the fintech space, use blue. When people see blue, they see professionalism. They don't attack blue like, I don't know. There's just a way. Maybe I'm not a Chelsea fan, so I don't like blue. I don't like blue, personally, because of Chelsea. So yeah, so red symbolizes action, strength, energy, and passion, right? So almost all these colors, I believe some people would be doing theirs too at the moment. Meaning of color, purple. So you just do all these things. You do your research, right? You do your research and you list all these colors out. Spirituality, mystery, reality, imagination, positive compassion, wisdom, creativity. That's for purple. Check black, meaning of color black. Black is trendy, black is modern, black is tech, so you just check different, do your research in depth, you see different protection, power, elegance, sophisticated, formality, strength, authority, and the like. So that's just it when you're selecting colors, right? What do they represent in the product, or do they communicate the product I'm trying to like build or design for? When you've done your research, you now realize that, okay, for this brand or for this product we're creating, I think purple, black, and no, don't let me use purple, black. I think red and no, I don't want to use red. Let me use blue. Someone should give me a color. Anybody. Just give me like two colors that you feel like go together. Anybody?
Orange and black. Orange and black.
Orange and black, monochromatic. Okay, orange and black. So they give us orange, black. Now, So we've done our research, realized that orange communicates who we are as a person. Orange also will resonate to our audience, our users, and the likes. Black also will resonate with our users. When our users see color black and orange, they tend to like, okay, yes, I think this is meant for me, right? So now, how do we now select the perfect tone, the perfect shade of orange, the perfect shade of black to use, the perfect shade of the perfect tint of red, of orange or black to use? Now, this is where technology and AI now come in, and this is where you, as a designer, you need to have your natural instinct and your creativity, your creative spirit needs to like also come into play. So there's a website that I believe everybody should know. It's called Colors.co. This is like the most amazing website out there. It's called Colors.co. Yeah, super fast color palette generator. So this is it. So you want to generate colors. This is how I do it. I already have orange in my head and I have black. Guys, to just give me black. So we all know black to be, someone should give me the X code of black. Let me see if we'll do giveaway. Anybody, the first person to get it, X code of black. Aside Chiki and Tomisin.
00000.
I'm not doing giveaway again.
That's
I'm not,
not fair. You have to do it.
I'm not doing giveaway again. No. Okay, so the X code, what you mean by X is HEX is just like the code that identifies the color. That's just the meaning. Color code, X code is the same thing. It's just grammar. This design and text space is grammar that I'm used to. Stuff like that. All right. So I already get my X code of black and I lock it. So what that means is that, okay, let me just explain the app. So this website helps you generate colors. It gives you colors that are complementary of each other. Is that like an artificial intelligence for colors, gives you colors that are complementary of each other and which you can use together. So you can lock it. What that means is that if I lock this color and I'm changing this guy, the color by my left hand side, by my left hand side, this black won't change. So this lock button here will lock it. So if it is unlocked now, what that means is that if I'm changing the colors, that would change. But I don't want that because I want to have black. So I just lock black and I press my space bar. So if you look at it, just visually looking at it, you can see that if I mix this color and black together, there is no way my design will not pop. It will be very mad. If you're a creative designer, if you're a badass designer, sorry for I'm using some words here. If you're a badass designer and you mix these two colors together, trust me, your design is over. So if you do something like this, you see that you're getting very nice shades. You're getting very nice shades and the like. So another, you can see this blue too, very nice blue. So another thing you can do in generating colors is that you can just go online and check color orange palette. So I want to get the first orange. All I just need is to find that number one, the first color I want to use. That's like the first thing I want to do here. I want to find the orange. Which shade of orange do I want to use to generate all these things? Because if you come here, you might just be pressing space bar, and you might not still get that orange. It might take you a very longer time to get that orange. Okay, I think I saw orange here. This is carrot orange. Okay. So you now look at it. Is it too light? Is it too dark? Will it fit in? Do I want to use this shade of orange? Please note, orange is orange, but you're now thinking of which type of orange should I use? Should I use carrot orange? Will it not be too sharp? Will it not be too bright? No, let me look for a different orange. You get me? Then you can now switch. But another way to do it faster, to get it faster, is just type color orange palette or color. It gives you like, I think someone wants to speak. So it gives you like different colors of orange. Gives you different. Then you can now say, let me try this orange. So you just copy. If this image works for you, if this orange here works for you, or whichever color works for you here that you feel like, I like this shade of orange, can just go to maybe your Figma page or whatever it is. You paste it, then you find the X code. So you just look for a way to get the X code. Okay, so we've gotten this shade, right? We've gotten this is look like tangerine orange. So you just come here, you copy the code, you copy the X code, you go back to your colors, and you impute the code here. I just Control V, Control paste. So you see, it gives me perfect orange. This is like orange, orange. Then I lock it. So now I have orange and black. I mean, we don't need to like black is 00000. So now I want to create complementary colors. I want to add like 2 or 3 other colors that would fit into this same that will be my secondary color, sorry. So my primary color is orange and black. That's what I want to use for the identity, because it resonates with my audience, it communicates who I am, and you've done your research and you're perfect with it. So but I want to add like 2 or 3 complementary colors to just use on the site to just support the brand. So you come to your right hand side there, you see a plus sign, plus sign, plus sign. So the moment you press spacebar, you are getting colors that are complementary to orange and black. So now it's now your duty, because AI colors, they don't know what you have in mind. You know what you have in mind. You're not the one that will not be saying, okay, this shade, what family does it belong to? Because this is a very good color palette, by the way. Orange, black, twilight lavender, dark sea green, wild blue, yonder, blah, 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 blah. This is a very good color palette to use. But you're not like, I like this color. What family does it fit in? I think this fits in more on the purple, lilac, kind of like family. Then you now go back and check, okay, purple or lilac or what, or let me use this one. Let me use this green, right? This green. Let me now go back. Do green in the personality of my product or the personality of my brand or the design I want to create. Does green fit in? Is there a way green will come in into the palette, and I will also be able to communicate with my audience? Then if green is fine, you lock green. You lock green. You're like, okay, let's go on, let's generate more. You press spacebar, spacebar. You're like, saying blue. Okay, nice. This blue is nice. Does blue fit into the personality of the brand? Does it communicate? Okay, blue communicates, you lock. Then you go again, spacebar, 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 like that, like that, like that, like that, till you find other colors that resonate. Does this one resonate? You lock. Then you are good to go. This is like the lazy man way of generating color palette. This is the lazy man way of generating color palette. But from a professional point of view, right, it would be good that the AI is not what is deciding, it's not what is driving you. You are the one driving the AI, right? So when generating this, you already understand what colors mean. You already know the meaning of a color. So what you just be looking for is just a perfect shade that would blend together with the color you selected. So I want to use orange, I want to use purple, yellow, I want to use purple, yellow, black. Coming. I want to use purple, yellow, black, blue, and orange or red. Let me say red. Maybe like a lighter red or lighter orange. Right. So we've already selected it, and you know that if I mix these 5 colors together, I would have a very good color scheme for my brand or for my product. Then it's now your duty to start now looking for the shades that will fit together. So you just do that and you are good to go. So that's just that on colors and how to generate and pick perfect colors. And some people, what they do is that, which is a mistake actually. So you are picking colors from here. You can start here to get your initial color, the color you want. I believe everybody knows Figma, or maybe you don't, but this is Figma and you're just selecting color. So you can use Figma to just get your initial color, that tint that you want, that shade, to get the perfect color. But because you are not AI and you are not, okay, no, Control C, Control V. Where are you pasting? Allow Control C, Control V. Okay. Okay. So because you are not a robot, or you are not, your brain is not tech like that, you might not be able to manually pick a color, that a shade that would fit this just by doing this. So because this is orange and I want to use, or let me use, I like purple and black and yellow. So let me use purple and yellow to like do this illustration. So let me come here. Let me pick purple. Okay, I think this is purple. Okay, and I want to use yellow. So well, this is looking perfect because of my experience, but for you that are just starting out, you might not be able to find the perfect shade or tints that will blend together just by you picking colors manually. I don't know if you are with me. So you might feel like this go together, but when we are now like going in depth and trying to like do use cases of these colors, you realize that they don't work, because part of you picking colors is you have to also consider what color will I be able to use on this color. So you can see, guys, that it's just, there are people that study colors, just that's their own specialty. Colors, that's their area of specialization. So I think someone is on mute. Okay, so picking purple, you also need to like decide, if I'm going to write the text on purple, what will I use? Can I use black on purple? Can I use white on purple? So those are all the things like you consider, but not to like make it very complicated, right? The best way is just pick, do your research, know what color works or fits with the brand or personality that you're trying to like build, or product you're trying to like build. Find a starting color. I'm sorry, you know all the colors that that would fit into the brand. You already know what primary colors are, you know what secondary colors are, you know what tertiary colors are. Then you pick one, you pick the list out your colors, then you now go to colors and just find like this is a perfect way to just get shades. Right? This is a perfect to just get shades, and just pressing space bar will give you like different colors. I like this combination so much. This two is very, very beautiful. These two colors are very, very, very beautiful. So that's just it. So I mix, I lock. Let me find something like a lighter color. I think these are dark. I need something bright. Yeah, I think something like this might work. Then yeah, so that's just, so this app also allows you to like find different shades. Like I said, like I said earlier, shades are you adding black. So adding black to this main color, is giving you darker color. So if I add white, it's getting white gives me here. So another thing you need to like know as a designer is what color would I be able to use on this color, which is something a lot of designers actually miss. So automatically this app or this web app already tells you what color of text you can use on the main color. So if your background is this yellow here, so you can already see that the right up here, or the icons are showing you black. What that means is that if you use white on this yellow, the contrast of your color of your, or the output won't be 100%. It won't, the legibility is going to be very, very low, right? If you use black here, if you use white here, sorry. So you can see that what they use here is different from what they used here. They used white on this color, they use white on this color, white on this color. So the AI is already perfect, it already tells you what to do. So when you're creating your design system, your colors and the likes, you can actually just use this. But there are plugins in Figma that will just give you all this easily. But for the sake of you understanding the roots of all these things is why I'm actually going in depth into these things. So you don't just know the shortcuts and you don't know how to like explain them. So yeah, so looking at the shades, I think this view shades, you can see view shades. So moving my mouse, you can see that it's telling me that if I use white on this shade, it will make sense. White on this shade. But from here, I need to start using black. Black, 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 going forward, white, white, white. So you can see. So doing this, your design will just start becoming more, is it crisp? Is it crisp? A bit crisp or whatever it is. But sha 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 sha. That is it. So I think 2 hours on the mark. I think I'm done for my end. So if you have questions, guys, I think you can throw. You can throw at me, then we go.
Okay, I have a question, sir, and it's related to buttons, actually, buttons and color majorly. So now I know, like, your primary colors, you have to use them for
Related
your
to what?
from. It's related to buttons and colors.
Okay,
Like
okay.
for your primary button, that's your call to action button. You should
Mm-hmm,
use your primary color, right? From what
mm-hmm.
I understand. Now, yeah, using your secondary button, that's what I don't understand. Like, when does a secondary button come in, and could it carry the color of the primary of the primary color? Oh, how am I even putting the question? I hope you understand. Like, can a secondary button carry the color of the call to action button, and when does the secondary button come in?
Okay. So like you said initially, buttons, what type of buttons do we have? So we already know that error buttons are kind of like red. You can't use green for an error button. I don't know if you get me. So what action do you want people to take using that button? So you already said that your um primary, like the major button should be your primary color, maybe or like a shade of that your primary color to use for your CTA button, right? For your other buttons, right, it could be the complementary color of that. So if you use blue, so your complementary color it could be yellow. But a trick to it, a kind of like trick to it is just the main color button being all blue, then the other color should be all white, then the text will be blue. That's like a mini trick to it, Sha. I don't know if you get me.
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Yeah, so that's, but for other action buttons, right? If it's an action button, you want people to take action, use a color that will propel them to take action. Do you get me? So yeah, that's for, it's like a button that says complete, confirm receipt, or confirm confirmation button, or success button, complete registration, complete this, complete that. Then you can use green, or you can use your primary color. It depends on the project. Then if it's a button that says delete or cancel, you all know that it's red. You can't use your primary color for a cancel button. You can't use green for a cancel button, right? So that's just it. Yeah.
Okay, but sir, can you have like you can have multiple call to action buttons on a screen? Like in the case of a landing page now, can you have like more than one call to action button there? I understand that we should not overwhelm the users, right? But like, what if you want them to perform several actions on a particular screen?
Let me see. So I think it depends from the UX point of view now. If I'm conversant with your app, and I know that when I am making clicking next, right? I'm using next, 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 next. I'm typing next. I'm using a green button. In my brain, I already know that when it's time for me to like click next, I'm using, or confirm, I'm using a green button. When it's time for me to um when it's time for me to proceed, I'm using a green button. So the moment I'm seeing a different color on your button, I'm confused. I'm like, okay, there is no consistency here. I'm getting a different experience here. So it will actually be good to use colors of buttons that your customers or your users can easily what's the word? Resonate with, right? Thank you, Bukola. Thank you. Use a color that your users can easily resonate with and it can stick in their mind. So they know that anytime I'm coming to your app and I want to like learn more, I'm using a green button. So you can know that when you over on a button, the color can change, right? That's a different conversation entirely. But when I see a learn more button, I know it's green. When I see a confirm button, I know it's green. When I see a cancel or go back, I know it's red, right? So just don't try to like play around too much on types of colors. Like I said, the trick to this color thing or button is that if you want to use two different colors, just pick one, your primary color button, then just use the alternate of it. So if the frame is green, the text is white. The other one should be text should be green, frame should be white. All right, Chike.
I have a question.
Chike, yeah, I can hear you, Chike. I can hear Chike. Am I the only one?
No, it's not clear as well.
Okay, Esther, let's hear from you.
Okay, so I have questions to ask
Shoot.
about 3 to 4 questions. Okay, so
Hey, 4 questions. Okay, all right, let's go.
yeah, sorry, I'm doing my own personal studies on color, and I've been I've been doing brand identity for some of my friends,
Okay.
brand identity design for people. So this is actually my first week class because I also am a self-taught designer. So
Okay.
okay, let's start with the black shade. I know from what I've studied so far, you actually use 0000, like the extreme black. I thought it's not advisable, how would I put it, to use those extreme colors like 000 FFF, the extreme colors of every type of color. I thought it's like against the rule because of the effect on the eye, basically. That's number one question. I think I'll just show the questions then. So that's for number one. Okay, number two, I'm also wanting to ask about the several colors. I thought we are supposed to use minimal colors as possible. Like if you're going to use 3 colors, use 3 colors, and 3 to 4 colors, for example, all through. But I see you trying to get your primary color, trying to get a secondary color, trying to get your complementary color. And I'm just wondering, like, is the several colors, like, is it advice? How does it work? Basically, I'm not saying it's advisable. Okay, the next one about using those particular color and particular text. Like you said, the AI tells us, okay, that you use for example, use white color on the white text, sorry, on the black color. Now my question is, no, even in the white, we have various shades of white because the AI is just telling us to use white. So is it like we are allowed to just use, any shade of white, or was to use the extreme white, which I feel like someone's supposed to use the extreme white? So that part too is what I don't understand. And okay, let's start with that first. Thank you.
Okay, can you come again on the first question? I think I took note of that. I think I took note of the second and third one. Can you come again on the first question?
Okay, the first question was talking about the extreme X code of any color.
Okay, extreme X code. Okay, so I think when you were even explaining, you already like gave answer to your questions, Sha. So, like I said, the best of design, or like Tola said yesterday too, best of design is actually in the mind, is when the designer have the users in mind, right? So if you are using an extreme black, what effect will it have on your user? Do you understand? All effect will it have on your user. So generally, it's not advisable that you use extreme black, right? But taking the general, let's not use what they say. Let's take it more practical now. If my users are older people, if I use the extreme black, what effect do they have on them? If I use a shade that is a tint of black, right? A lighter tint of black, what effect do they have on them? Okay, So it's you doing your own personal research and seeing which is what. But then definitely there are general rules. There are general rules to these things, right? But I mean, me, I'm not a person that follow rules. I don't really like rules like that. Rules. I don't like rules. So let me try it out. If it works for me, do my research. Does it resonate with my people, resonate with my users and my brand? I'm good to go, right? So that's that. Then advice on choosing colors. The reason why I was saying primary, secondary color is that from when you're building an identity, right? Because you have to build the identity first before you build the product. So when you are building the identity, right, your logo might only carry black. Your logo might be all black, but you need other colors to complement that black for you to be able to communicate well with your users. That means you have to generate secondary colors. Sorry, you have to generate secondary colors. So now it's now you saying, how many secondary colors do I want to have for this brand? Do I want to have 3? Do I want to have 2? The general rule is saying 2 to 4. Like your colors should not be more than 2 to 4, right? So if I have 2 primary colors, I want to have 2 secondary colors based on the general saying, the general rule, right? But you can say there are brands that play with colors, even Figma. How many colors does Figma have? Figma has a whole lot of colors. You just they play with colors like something else, right? So it's just now you knowing how to use these colors, that is where the main work is. So if the designer, the person that designed the identity is an expert, he will tell you that the percentage of blue on a composition or an artboard on a frame should be 20%. So this secondary color blue, for example, now the percentage of blue should not be more than the color blue should not be more than 20% on the composition. So if you're adding other colors, it should not take a larger part of the visibility of your composition or whatever it is, right? So it doesn't overshadow the main color, it doesn't overshadow the brand itself. I don't know if you're getting me. So that is when you are now creating a system to the use of your colors. So you can now say, for my secondary color, I'm bringing this secondary color in to only be for icons. I'm bringing this secondary color in to only be for buttons. I'm bringing this secondary color only to be for headers. I don't know if you get me. So it's now you putting use cases to your colors. That is the work of a pro. That is the pro job. Bringing use cases to all these colors is actually is very, very in-depth actually, but it's just you understanding the basics and you knowing how to work with it. So everything is just how you use it. Use cases. How do I use these things? So that's just it. Then I think that's all.
No, it's thank you, but it's
Can I
it's only
ask?
one more. 3 questions.
Oh, Chike, hold on. Remember one more. Which one?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the last question was, I said we were talking about the font color, the test color, sorry, the test color on every color you're using. Like we
Okay.
said, the AI tells us, for example, we're using white on black background. I'm just saying. But my
Yeah.
question now is, now the AI does not tell us the. Can you hear me?
Chike, I see you're muted. Chike, can't hear you. I can't really hear you. Oh, you're muted.
Oh, sorry.
Can I? Okay. Should
Go
I?
on. Go on.
Okay, so I'm saying that the AI tells us the color, particular color to use in particular background. When I'm saying the AI doesn't tell us the shade of color, the tints of that color. Like if I'm using white, for example, on a black background now, am I supposed to know? Am I allowed to use any shade of white on black background, or is any we're going to go further to get the particular tint or the tint of white using the black background? I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
Let me make it practical for you. Let me show you something. Let me share my screen to you. So let me come back to colors. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, I can. We can.
So there's something here called where is it? I think I have to sign in for you to see. Okay, contrast checker. So this is where contrast come in your, I mean, design process. Sounds unmuted. Okay, So this is where, I mean, design principles, contrast is one of them. So this is where contrast come in your play now. So you can see text color, background color. So let's say our text color is FFFFFF. We know it to be white, right? Then our background color is, you can see already that the AI is already telling you that if you're using white text on a black, on a this color background, right? If it's going to be a small text, it is very poor. It means that the legibility, the contrast, it is not there. So you already say poor contrast for all text sizes. It already tells you the result already. There's a platform that when you're done with your design, you upload your design there and it gives you like a summary. Probably when I remember, I'll share with Chike to share with you guys. It gives you like a summary of all the mistakes or the errors on that design and how to correct them. There's a platform like that actually. So you can already see that the contrast now, small text, large text, very poor. If I'm having it on a 00000 black, what do you say? Super. Small text, good to go. Large text, good to go. Great contrast for all text sizes. So now let me go back to, let me look for a different shade. But this is not me. This is, you can see that the legibility here is 100%. So now let me look for a different shade of black. Let me look for a different shade of black. So you will now see, I think black is 0000000. Okay. Now let me look for a different shade. Let me pick this guy. Let me use this guy. Let me bring in here. What does it tell you? Super. It's still good to go. 19.8%. On small text, on large text is good to go. Let me use a lighter shade of a different shade of white actually. Let me see. Let me use this. This is the closest. And let me bring it here. So what's it saying? It's still saying it's good to go. It means that the use case of having not using extreme white and not using extreme black is correct. You can perfectly execute with this. So from the visual point of view, right, and also from the experience point of view, you are perfectly fine. You are perfectly good to go. Do you get me? So I'm not the person that will tell you do this, don't do this. You must use extreme black. You must use extreme white. No, you confirm from yourself. Is it good? Maybe it was Thompson that dropped it in the rules are meant to be broken. So confirm for yourself what these rules people tell you, right? Confirm. Is it a perfect rule? So if I'm using extreme white, extreme this, perfectly good to go. If I'm using this, perfectly good to go. So it's now you understanding that do I want to use this because of my audience? Do I want to use it because of my brand and all that? So yeah, that's just it. I hope I answered your questions well.
Okay, thank you so much. I think you did justice. I just want to add something to what you've been saying, but thank you so much. Like, it's really nice. So I recently did a personal project on a food app called Buy Food, and I decided to use a not the extreme red. It's more of like a pepper red color. I can't remember the name. So I did the design, and to me, I'm like, this is perfect because this is food. I want something that resonates with food, something bright, because food tends to look very bright and attractive. So I wanted something that's going to be very bright and attractive. I decided to use this particular shade of red. And when I was done with the design, I sent it to someone, a design pro too. And it was like, wow, your design is nice, but the color is too bright. And in me, I'm like, but this is food. Now there's something very bright. I want something that would resonate with my audience. But that was just his comment. The person I'm referring to is like a design pro. So that's what I'm really bothered about, because I know I get people telling me it's too bright, it's too bright. I love bright colors, but it's not as about me now. But I feel like this is food, and food should need a bright color. And this is a pro telling me it is too bright. So I don't know. That's
okay. I think I will just comment there. Then Chike would. I think Chike has some things to say. So, question I will ask you is, how did you select the shade of red you used?
okay. So the shade of red, yes, like you said, basically all the things you've been saying is what I normally do. I thought of, okay, I want to do a food. What color would sit well for? Okay, what is red? I search for red and I feel, okay, yes, red works with food because it is attractive and it's like resonate well with anything that has to do with food. So I went and said, okay, what shade of red? Like I went to search for shades of red, like on the net too. I saw various shades, like what you did now. No, palette, no, red palette, sorry. Yes, red palette. That's what I searched for. I saw various red palette, and then I started to use my instinct, like you mentioned. I saw that particular red, I can't remember the exact name though. I saw that particular red, I'm like, wow, this is perfect. Like this looks so well. And decided to use that. Red. It's not the extreme red though. It's not the extreme red, it's a different S code.
Okay. I think what you should do is that the shade of red we use sometimes, like I said, color is a very delicate space to play in. So we need to like be very intentional on the shade we use, the shade of red we use. A very bright red is different from a very dark red, or not a dark red. A darker red will communicate differently from a lighter red. So there was a part I missed actually when I was like talking about color. So hey, my phone wants to follow. Oh, that money. All right. So we have warm colors and we have cool colors. So warm colors are usually bright, cheerful, and happy, and cool colors are usually kind of like dark and mysterious somehow, but not all. It's not really like that's all the cases, right? But we have cool colors, we have warm colors. The warm colors are actually very bright, and the cool colors are actually kind of like dark. So if I'm using a light color, you are giving me the way we read it, a light red, the way we see or feel a light red is going to be different from the way I will feel a dark red. Do you get me? So it's now left to you that what kind of feeling do I want to like give these people? Do I want something that is just cool and calm, a shade of red that is cool and calm, right? Or do I want something that is kind of like bright and lively and it's just popping, it's just showing in my eyes, flashing in my eye type of red? You know, they're still red, but they're different shades of red. So it's not left to you to know that, okay, should I use a darker red to just give them like a calm feeling? It's still red, but something calm, not too loud, not too shouty, not too out there. And then you go and test your use cases. Go to colors, do the contrast test. The shade of red you used, will it fit on a white background? Then you do your contrast test. If you see that you are not like 100%, you change it. You change the shade, you change the tints, right? Do your contrast test. But sometimes the contrast test might work well, but it's left to you to, I mean, most of the times you do, you learn, you do, you learn, you feel, you do, you learn, you feel before you can get the perfect color, right? So that's just what I would say there. But I don't know the shade of red you used though. I don't know the shade of red. Chike.
Okay, I think I don't know if it's online, but I think there was no issue with the text, the color text and everything. I think everything was perfect. I feel the person's concern was the fact that, though, for me, I wanted something very bright and lively because I know food. I know I love to see bright food, like food. I love my food to look very nice, even without even eating it. Like I want to see it looking very bright and lively. So that was my thoughts, and that was why I chose that particular red. But I think the person's concern was, I think he was trying to tell me that the color, like I was telling you about those extreme colors, about 000 FFL, like what I was saying earlier. So his concern was that the color is too, the red is too bright and it's going to affect the eye. I think that was just his own concern. Just that, not really any other thing.
Yeah, the guy might be a UX expert, so I'm not a UX expert. I'm a brand guy. I give meanings to things. That's what I do. I maintain perceptions. I manage perceptions of something. So that's what I just do. So that's my core brand. Chike. Magasa.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Tayo. Just wanted to add that in terms of the extreme cases, mainly for UX purposes, where that rule comes into place, where you have FFF and 000, you don't use a FFF on a 000. That's basically where it comes into play. Like putting a total black on a total white, it's it actually, if it is used very very loud, There are some people that has a, I've forgotten the name of that sickness. It can actually cause, uh, is it convulsion or so? I don't know if you've watched any screen where they will say if you are, if you have one, I've forgotten the name, but they always put that in, a photo, something like that. So those extreme colors can affect in that case, right? So that's basically the rule. Now, in the rule of how should you use your color, just like Sarah said, there are percentages, and in UX we have something called the 60-30-10 rule, right? And I believe we are still going to talk about that. So we do 60 primary, um, 30 secondary, and 10 is essence color, right? 60-30-10. So basically that's just what I wanted to add. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Chike. Tomisin. So let's take like two or more questions, then we'll just wrap it up. Tomisin.
Now, I also wanted to Deborah Israel and she had a question on typography.
What do you say, Tomisin? I didn't get that.
Deborah Israel and have been off. She has a question on typography.
Oh, okay, Deborah Israel.
Okay, sir, I have a question on I don't know the best typeface that will suit a particular brand. Let's say a podcasting show, like what type of typography can actually suit a brand of that? That's my question. I don't know if there is enough time so I can share a PDF file. So maybe you go through it and make corrections, and it's actually a brand identity I work on.
I can't really hear you, Deborah.
Deborah, maybe you can type it.
Okay, sir, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I think
Hello?
this is better. Yeah.
Okay, I was actually asking, like, what type of typography, typeface can actually suit best for a podcasting brand? I don't know if there is enough time, so I can actually share a PDF file of one I worked on. I mean, the brand identity I worked on.
Okay. I think there's a way you can drop screenshots though. I don't know. I think you can attach pictures. I don't know. Or you can share screen. I don't know. Okay, you're sharing your screen. Okay, okay, that's good.
Okay, let me just send the screenshot.
Okay, you can send the screenshot to Chike. Forward it to me.
All right. I think while we are waiting for Deborah, just to uh, contribute to the color aspect. Um, Color can be very tricky, and I get where Esther is coming from. There are times, you feel like I think I've kept all these things. I've looked at all these things and I've kept them into like strict consideration. But then when you now like present it out, people always like, okay, this is too right, okay, this is too that. I think the solution there is very simple. What I do is when I'm picking color, when I'm picking colors, what I do is the shade. If you can get the right shade, once your colors are matching, once you're using like two different colors and they are matching, the next thing you want to like focus more is the shades. If you can get the right shade to what you're doing, you realize that it will flow that kind of thing. Because I've not seen the app reviews, but from the review the guy gave you, it's like it's almost like the red is kind of streaming to their faces. And yes, food is
Yeah,
already
Let me see. Your voice is kind of like low.
Oh, how about now?
I think it's okay now.
All right. So I feel like the red is kind of screaming to his face. And remember that as a product designer, you are to be user centric. So even if to you you don't see it as something too much, but because you've already sent it out and then that's the review you are getting, you need to like just you don't need to change the red, you just need to change the shade of the red.
Yeah,
That's
the
really
shade. Yeah. I agree. Just add more blacks to it. You have like two blacks, two. There's a if you're using if you're a visual designer, graphic designer, the way in Illustrator you can add black. Just click on the color and click on black to add like a shade of black on it. Then if you reduce the shade of that red, you would actually have a perfect you have a perfect color. But I mean, the more research you do, the more YouTube videos they watch. You can also check other food brands out there that are doing well. What shade of red are they using? You screenshot, use your color picker, pick the color, you're good to go. There's nobody will tell you that you use my red. There's nothing like you use my red. Sure, you get me? So there's nothing like you use my red or use my color. So check what other people are doing there. What shade of red is work has been working for them. You pick, you screenshot or color drop it, and you use your red and you're good to go. It's not a there is nobody will beat you for that. So that's just the way it is. I've been out to missing. Use my red. Did not use my red. Nami fair use the red. There's nothing like that.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for the advice. Although I'm gonna send my work very soon, so you can see it to me soon. I'm still trying to upload on my Behance so I can send it and you see it. But the red is not oh god. I think it's just this person
I
that
think
said that.
you have a
Every other
sentiment for
person.
the red actually.
Yeah, because I'm sorry, but I just feel like I just feel like this is food and yeah, food. So, but no, but I okay, but hey, in all you say, nobody mentioned anything about opacity. Like I don't understand why. I wanted to know. Sorry, it's not like I don't understand. Like why you guys saying about opacity? Can't you always, just do the opacity of every color and work with it?
Hmm. Who wants to answer that? Okay, I'm making the skip too. So.
I didn't hear what you said last. Only I think our problem basically is she's already attached to the design, and I can relate that thing can be painful. It can be painful.
You know,
Okay,
if you reduce the opacity, it becomes very transparent. I hope you know. It's different from tints or shade.
no, no, just like okay, normally it's 100%. Then you just take it to 95 or
That's like
90. That's what I'm talking about.
that's actually different from reducing
That's
the
different too. What that means that you reducing the opacity is that you are allowing light pass through it. So it becomes transparent. So what is behind it is going to be visible.
Okay, but
Opacity
using
transparency.
an opacity of 90 does not actually make anything visible through it because it's still quite thick, just that it's not as as sharp as the main 100% color.
You,
And
you are a sentiment designer. You like sentiment. Let me give you one story. Let me give you one story. I work. So I there was this identity we created for a new product in VGG. And when you've done something that you're like, no, this is mad. That anybody that disagree with this thing, they need to tell the person to they need to take the person to barracks and tell the person to lie down and flog the person like 50 stroke. So we did the presentation and everything. It was nice and it was all good. But the customer was just like, instead of this, use this. And we from a experience point of view, are telling guys, no, let's do it like this. It should be like this. It must be like this. This is why it is this. At the end of the day, they said, no, this we don't want. This is what we want. I say, you have disrupted the entire concept of what we've created, right? They said, no, that this is communicating something. We want something like no matter. So at the end of the day, right, no matter the sentiment you have to to what you've created. I know we are all creative, right? When we create something and we feel in our own mind, right, that this is actually perfect, it's okay. There is this pride we want to like get in it. But when the person that is actually supposed to accept it is not like on the same page with us, we tend to like feel bad and all. But at the end of the day, right, it's the customers that are that we use it. They are the one that is going to use the product. They're the one that is going to like sell the product. You've just done your own part there. So it's at the end of the day, they say if customer tell you, if the users tell you that it no resonates with me, it doesn't resonate with that. No matter the theory or the grammar you will use to explain to them, if they don't like it naturally, that's just it. So you can't force it on them. So you just have to find a way to like. It's very painful. I won't not even lie to you. It's very painful. You just have to find a way to like take sentiment out of your design and just come from a plain point of view. But it's actually very painful. There's something that they say, yeah, it's already mad. Like on fire, God, it's crazy. But you get there, you move on. Life of a designer, actually.
I
I
I
think so.
think I think the Chike is the one that most times review my designs. And there was this design I did one time with a lot of illustrations rather, colors and everything. And in my head I was like, damn, I'm good. And then Chike was just like, bro, this
To
color
shock
is
you.
this is like which when it was giving solid proofs to it. And then it was there and then I realized um to be user centric, more user centric, because to me and to people like me it makes sense. But with design rules, design systems, and other things in consideration, it really do not make sense. You understand? So to you, that's stuff you've designed makes sense, and then when you share with other people like you, to them, so it's like, yeah, nice one. But then when you now have to bring some principle in, like if you are selling to a client now, the client has a mission in mind, a vision in mind. There's something he wants to communicate, and probably just one color is not communicating it. And to you that design it, you're like, damn, you just have to like tweak. And over time, I've realized that it just makes things better. I remember taking Chike's advice and then dumbing down the illustration, dumbing down the colors, just using I think I used two, and then just that two just used different shades and everything. And then by the time I posted it on LinkedIn that time, there was this man, the CEO, and then the guy was like, wow, I like your design, blah blah, makes sense. The man shared me his WhatsApp number. I knew if I didn't take Chike's advice at that time, if I was like, whoa, I beg, to me this thing makes sense, and I posted it the way it was. I'm very sure something like that would not have happened. And then mind you, when the guy sent me his WhatsApp number and we started talking, he still told me to change some things. There were still there's still some things he still told me. He was telling me that black there is too sharp. And you like, and I'm like, what is with you and all this? But it's all good. The process is nice. It's painful. Yes, it's a painful, very painful, because as a designer, you get attached to your design, and then you will not even when you are grouped into teams, you start seeing more of it, because maybe you now design something and then you are already attached to it, and your team member are saying no, no, no. It is just put at the back of your mind is to make it better. But what you do is just copy it, have a duplicate of it in case it does not now get better. Go back to your go back to your original. So I think
Oh my God.
That's nice.
Okay, so back to
So
the question I asked. I've already sent the document to Mr. Ikechi. Yeah, Chike, sorry. Back to the question I asked, like what type of typeface would be good on a podcasting brand?
okay, type this, type this, type this, type this, type